Dr. Fauci. Let's talk about him for a moment. He's doing a lot of stumbling and bumbling on the news lately, and there's a reason for that. More people are asking probing questions or more probing questions than those, whoever they are used to adjusting and dealing with. And for pandemics, that can be problematic, especially if you take all the emotion out of it. And they're doing everything to bait people into being emotional. From all of the crap you see on TV with police to pitting white people against black people, they're doing they're throwing the kitchen sink at you to get you to react emotionally to it, right? So you can fit their narrative, all right? Many will fall for it, but people in my circle, we're not falling for that, okay? Back to Dr. Fauci, who I really don't want to stay on a whole lot anyway. For the first time in a long time, not the first time ever, for the first time in a long time, you have access to almost infinite external information and definitely infinite internal information. If you know how to tap into that, all right? The individual journey through meditation, proper diet, astral projection, and all the other things that one can dab into to create a state of awareness where you become the observer. The observer, as Panic would say, without blocking anyone's path to light. All right? It's an individual journey. All right? And for the most part, everything that can be done or learned on this planet has been done or learned. All right? There's been a steady degeneration, while some is viewing it the last 100 years of technological advancement. People like us would say, we've been on a decline for many, many, many years. And are just now starting to get in a state of awareness to remember, to put the information and the images and the symbolism that are and all the information locked in your DNA back together. Okay, through certain meditative practices, both awake and while dreaming. All right. Fauci is not anyone in power. Fauci is the person they put before you. Okay. And it's challenging. You're not supposed to listen to anybody, specifically me. And many people will say, well, you didn't go to medical school, so, we trust Fauci. You're right. I'm not a doctor. I did not go to the schools that were funded by the same people who are making you sick. You're absolutely right. I did not go to school or med school. I went to college and got my graduate degree, but I didn't go to med school to be programmed to perform the same tasks that were funded, those schools funded by the same people who are making you sick. It is a complete unnatural state of being that we're observing today. Let me give you a small example, something that's irrefutable. All right? We are the only species on the planet that cooks its food. Think about that. Think about how unnatural that act in itself is. As I stand in my kitchen, cooking food. Lions don't cook. Dolphins and whales are smarter than us. They don't cook. Well, Mike, they don't have the ability to cook. They're underwater. We are the only species on the planet that cooks its food, right? And Angelus Vonderplanets, who I've mentioned in many, many earlier videos, and I'll keep mentioning it again because it's the group of people who are subscribed. I guess those are the group of people that's supposed to get this information. I don't live for millions and millions of subscribers. I don't care anything about being famous. What I do care about is being on the record about health and nutrition. Right? Do I do everything that's healthy for me? No. And if you have seen my videos before, you know that. Right? I don't buy into any particular set of dogma, and everything is on the table. So if I say something today, I can get more information later, and I can change my stance on that. I guess this is just a record of where I was at in any particular moment. Okay? Animals don't cook their foods. We cook our foods. And in the process of cooking our foods, we create many of the toxins that are giving you all diseases. Okay? Bacteria and viruses serve as cleansing mechanisms for cellular damage. From the toxins you get in your external environment, from the medications that you ingest, to the cooked foods that you consume. All right? And this is not something that's new to those who sell you the food that you eat. It's not news to them. Okay? Now, the Queen of England, she doesn't eat the same foods that you eat. Just don't. All right? Angelus Vonderplanets is a he wrote a book called We Want to Live, and it's a book that's a great read. All right? And you're talking about somebody who's, I'm speaking of Angelus Vonderplanets, who the things that he talks about from direct experience, growing up on the typical American diet, potato chips, Dr. Peppers, soft drinks, and all the crap food, had him bedridden in his 20s, riddled with cancer, and with a life expectancy of less than a year. All right? And hear him tell the story. I will attach a link in the description, but the link in the description won't have this story. You will have to search through a lot of his videos to find the story I'm about to tell about how he got on the path to health. And I guess I should tell it real quick before I go off into another tangent and forget it like I normally do, because I don't take notes before I do this stuff. He hired an African American kid. Well, African American, that's another video, that title, but I give you that title so that you have a concept of a description, if needed, of the kid he hired to help him around to take care of himself, because he was autistic but well enough to work, smart in a particular area where he could earn a high living because he was good with numbers and stuff, but he was just bedridden. So he's crawling from one place to another. It was a real shitty, literally shitty situation he was living in, peeing and shitting on himself, but earning good money. So he hired an African American kid to help him out with some stuff, and the African American kid suggested to him to consume raw unpasteurized milk and raw carrot juice. The kid wasn't a doctor. The kid wasn't certified nutritionalist or any of those things, and he ended up taking the advice of that kid, and within a month or so, his autism had receded. Within days, he was already feeling better. And he goes into great detail about the processes that helped in that regard, which led him on a lifelong journey of studying the benefits of raw versus uncooked food, and going into research and earning money to conduct his own research and compiling it over a period of the next 45 years to present it to the public. Now, when I first stumbled on Arjournas there was a big cohesive effort to kill any video that I came across. I would come across a video and then days later it'd be gone, deleted, 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 deleted. But there's enough people on the planet who know about Arjournas that just keeps uploading the videos anyway. And so we're winning that battle. That's cool. All right. Arjournas explains in great detail what the purpose of viruses and colds are, what they are. And he equates them to the equivalent of, the the soap powder that you would use to clean your clothes. All right? They serve to detoxify the body. That's what they are. All right? So I'm going to include a link in the description that will. Speaking of which, because the kid whose link you're about to see, also bought the book, read the book, digested the information, did a presentation, and then cut up clips of Dr. Van der Plantz's excerpts and put it in a video. I think it was well done. All right? But this is not to challenge or have a debate with anybody about anything. There's nothing to debate. All right? So if you're vegan, I don't have a problem with that. Be vegan. I'm not debating you. All right? There's certain things that are just not up for debate. We take things and we turn them into a religion sometimes, and that's not what's going on here. So if you're a vegan and you don't believe in eating animals, it's great. You know what I mean? Continue with that. There's no challenge here. We're all on our individual paths to light. But I'm going to give you the information, and I'm going to give you the science. I will create a pathway for you to explore it. You all have cell phones, you all have tablets, you all have laptops, you all have computers, and you all have time. You all have earpieces. So many of you, even in the jobs that you do when you're away from home, have the ability to pop an earpiece in your ear, get your work done, and listen to something that will advance you. And if you're not doing that, that's insane. That's externally. It's much more challenging to get away for hours at a time and go internal. I get that. You have to work 8 hours a day. Some of you have families you need to take care of, get baths when you get home, do homework and all that other stuff. You still got to sleep and get ready for the next day. But you should be. It's a good idea. Let me put it that way. It's a good idea to tap inside and access a lot of the information that's already coded in your DNA. And there's a variety of techniques to do that. Maybe I'll do that in another video. It's a nice day. I'm getting ready to go out. I got stuff to do. I'll stop by, see my mom, go to the bank. If it hadn't closed yet, but even if it had closed, I can get what I need to get done through the teller. But in an age where you're being shoved with the options of taking shots and things of that other stuff, there's stuff that need to be known. Now, if I have to go to med school to become a doctor before anything that I have to say on health is valid, that is evidence of your insanity and your mind control. All right? Just like sending me back to the rapist to prove to you that this person raped me. Are you kidding me? Listen, the people who have funded these schools to create the systems where the pharmaceutical companies make trillions of dollars and all this, these are the people that's poisoning you. Just all. All of these people that got contracts to ship out masks, knowing damn well that operating your life on a day-to-day basis while breathing a mask, you're consuming a lot of your own carbon monoxide. Okay? The carbon monoxide is a waste that your body's trying to get rid of, that your trees taking this food and give you oxygen in return. All right? And the OSHA workplace demands that the oxygen levels in the workplace be at least 90% oxygen. Now outside it's 20, just over 20 and a half, 21% oxygen. In the workplace, they deem anything under 19% not safe. And the mass, depending on the mass, creates an environment where you're only consuming 17 to 17.9% of your oxygen, which, is well under 19 for me. Anything under 19, if they say it's hazardous, is a problem. But you've been mind controlled to walk around in mask, believing that if you stand within 6 feet of somebody, that you can catch a virus. The whole premise of catching a virus is faulty because you don't understand the definition of virus. You don't know what a virus is, and you don't know what its function is because it's been hidden from you. It's the equivalent of being mad at your laundry detergent for cleaning the clothes when you understand the premise of what a virus actually is. Okay? So I'll include a link in the description with Arjournas. This is being narrated by the young man who took the time to cut up the material into manageable portions for you to swallow. Now, I have watched hours of Arjournas presentations, many hours of it, many hours, many different lectures over the last 6 or 7 years. He's no longer with us. He lived to be in his 60s, but he had an accident in the Philippines while walking on the second-story balcony of his home. And the balcony collapsed, broke his back. That is the word that was released. That's what was reported. And I'm going with that for now until I get more research or more information that changes that. Interestingly enough, before I leave, all of the years that he spent studying health, all of the science that he did, all of the information that he found, from how our teeth are designed to the bacteria and the acid composition in our stomach, as far as what foods is designed and how. Well, I don't want to go into too much detail because it'll lead me on another tangent. What I'm saying is all of the years of research that he's done, 45 years, it helped people like me. It helped people like you if you've heard of him before. But he wasn't able to help his own family. That part sucks. Because your family sees you how they see you. They've known you their whole lives. And so when you go from caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly, they don't understand the butterfly. They still see the caterpillar. It's hard to receive the wings, the new wings from the new butterfly. So I make these videos and I speak about these subjects with the understanding that I'm probably not going to be able to help my mother, my sisters, those close to me, with all of the things that I make time to study, because they've only known the caterpillar. They never really got to know the butterfly, right? The cocoon is the isolation where you drop off the planet for a while almost. You'll live in isolation because you need that isolation to grow. You need that isolation to transform. You need that isolation to study external and internal, dive deep internally, so that you can become the butterfly. And after you become the butterfly, it doesn't stop there. You're always expanding. You're always growing. There's no subject matter that's not on the table for me to go into or to learn about. And it doesn't mean I'm going to get on here and scream about it once I learn about it. I'll give you some some breadcrumbs, all right, so that you can spark or continue to add to your own transformation. All right? The responsibility for your health is yours. And we all have bad habits. I still have mine. I'm not doing everything perfect. I'm not. There's some things that at some point you have to recognize that you've been mind controlled, myself included. And then you start looking for the ways you've been mind controlled, even down to the language I'm speaking. This is not our original language, English. right? So I can only speak to you within the prism of a language that was forced on all of us. All of us. Reportedly, the vote that decided the national language between English and German, English only won by one vote, one or two votes. And so, there's just a language. I get that. So we're always looking for ways to break through the layers, to expand. And the key for me, what I found in my journey, is to do it without judgment. Without judgment. I've been hard on Dr. Fauci's. He's under his own set of mind control, right? And to go back and tie this all in together with being the only species that cooks his food on the planet, it is evidence of our detachment from nature. It is one of many that you got added. The nuclear arsenals, the wars, the guns, the cooked foods, the mind control schools. There's a laundry list. It's a laundry list of examples I can give you to show that we're not connected with nature anymore. Walking in shoes, walking in clothes. For many of us, walking in clothes may be evident that we're not even native to this planet, but that's another video. We're the only species that wear clothes. The only species that cooks food. The only species that wears shoes. The only species that goes out of its way to consume processed foods and pasteurize products devoid of enzymes, the very enzymes that the bacteria in your body need to run your vessel. It's like putting sand in your oil tank. It just doesn't make sense. The car has its fluids that it needs to operate at an optimal level, and your body's the same. And the science is available to you on yourself for the first time in a long time since the invention of the MEs, but that's another subject. The personal devices that we used to have many, many, many years ago, not so unlike these cell phones, to download and access instant information. There's no excuse. Ignorance at this point is no longer an excuse. If your mind is open to all subject matter, right? All of it. The Bible, the Quran, science, the Kabbalah, all of it. Nothing's off the table. And you tap in so that you have the ability to navigate what vibrates true for you. I think that's a good start. Link is in the description. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good day. God bless you. Listen, that's a spin-off of the Russell Simmons Def Jam. All right? That's all that is. Okay? All right.